welcome to Shit That Matters.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. If you guys want to just, introduce yourselves, let us know where you're from, do a little history.
How you got here?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Debbie Camire from Biscotti Café.
I'm Geoff Camire from Biscotti Café.
25 years ago. 25 years this year.
25 years, March
Really?
13th.
Wow,
March 13th, 1998.
congratulations.
Yeah, we opened up on Friday the 13th.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
that wasn't a bad sign, or
Right?
was it planned, or it just kind of?
No,
It
it just
just
happened that way.
But had you been doing bakery out of the restaurant before that, and then just decided to open a second spot, or how did the bakery thing start?
No, we both went to culinary school at CIA, and we were there at the same time, but we didn't know
Oh my
each other.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah, he graduated
Interesting.
before me though.
Because he's clearly much older. Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
You would think.
Clearly, we'll go with that one.
I might act it, for sure.
But then I got a job at the Four Seasons Hotel in Boston, and Geoff was working there, and that's actually where we met.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
So people wouldn't know by listening to you talk that you're from Boston.
Park the car, maybe,
the car,
just a
yeah.
little bit.
I did. I was like, wondered where you're from because I
Yeah,
noticed
just a
an
little
accent.
bit.
Yeah,
Sometimes
a little bit.
New York
yeah.
City, people think, but it's Boston. Yep.
Yeah, so every time we came back to Syracuse to visit my family, my father would say, "You're going to come back and open up a bakery." And I'm like, "No, I like Boston."
Yeah.
So it just so
You
happened
know who
that
her father is, right?
Dominic Chisone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sones on Burnett.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
yes.
yeah. So Tizone's Wine Garden,
Yeah.
my cousins, just
Oh, nice. Okay.
long line of food
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
family.
Awesome.
So at some point you must have made the decision to actually come back and open.
Yeah, we did, and it was the old mirror box that we
I
bought.
don't remember it then.
Butternut Street, the
Butternut
beer
Street.
stein on top of the roof.
Jeez, I don't
Years and
remember.
years
it.
ago.
That's-
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
They used to have in the basement, they used to have a tunnel going up to the brewmeister's house on McBride. And it
Oh
was
my gosh.
Underground. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool building.
And that's where you are now, or that's
no,
the first
no,
spot?
that's where we first opened
Yeah,
up,
okay.
okay.
and then we had a really bad fire.
Oof.
Yeah, 5 years into business. That's 5 years is like your mark.
yes,
Right? You know
yeah.
you're going to make it or break it, and having this devastating fire, and then we just happened to come across the building on North Salina Street.
What was there before that?
It was empty. It was Zarelli's paint store way back in time.
I don't remember that either. But
Yep.
when I see it now, I just remember it's always been Biscotti. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've come in and had lunch there.
Oh,
and-
that's cool.
We did.
Yeah,
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 that's
it's
nice.
nice.
We did the parents' 70. I don't know what it was. It was a 50th anniversary. I think we did, or something like that. Yeah, we've gone through quite a few struggles in our 25 years of business. I mean, it's hard to believe what we've done, what we've accomplished with all the hurdles we went through.
Would you do it again? If you were back there 25 years ago and you were now advising you then to do it, would you say yes, or would you stay at the Four Seasons? Or
Oh, tough question,
is
because
a tough
like
question.
I love the Four Seasons. I love the business. I love the people. I loved where we were. But of course, the opportunity to run your own place
Yeah.
is always very tempting and alluring. And would we do it again? Probably. Because when you're in the restaurant, your whole mentality is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
take that challenge on. You take that bull by the horns, and that's just restaurant people. That's just what you do.
and pivot, talk about in the last 2 years how no other industry had to pivot as much as restaurant owners. It's insane
Absolutely.
how they made it through, and I was really worried about, because a lot of restaurant owners I call they're friends.
Yep.
They happen to be people I know, and I was really, really concerned for everyone's personal health when this thing was happening, because I saw a lot of people that just were just down on it, because if you're Ron that owns Shifty's, or David that owns Kitty Hoynes, or Geoff and Debbie that own Biscotti's, that's who you are,
Yep.
right, to a lot of people. So if you don't have that anymore, who are you, kind of thing. And then people were going through some real challenges, and to watch how they pivoted and how they came together as a group and stuff was pretty cool.
It definitely changed the thinking, right, of owners and what they could do, what they did, and what they could do moving forward. It definitely changed the business aspect of it, their mental aspect of it. I believe, like we were talking, no more lunches.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Because you didn't need to have lunches,
Didn't make sense.
right? But you had it because it was the formula that you knew. Now,
Well, that's when a lot of people were working at their offices. A lot of people are working from home. So to leave your kids and your work time to go out to lunch just is not feasible anymore.
Right.
It just doesn't
And then
exist.
finance, I think you're right. People said, I got to get all the revenue I can in the front door to be successful. The more revenue, the better.
Right.
And these people didn't look at operations costs. Dan Curley at Daniel's Grill is a great guy. They do a great business. I went in to try to have lunch. He's like, dude, I'm open like Wednesday through Saturday.
Yep.
4 to 9. And he owns the dirt outright now because he bought the building. He doesn't have a mortgage. And he's like, I'm working 32 hours a week. My wife's working 20. I'm not working 55, 60 hours.
Right.
I don't have 15 people in here. And I'm looking and I'm making more money net with less revenue in the door.
Yep.
We did the same thing. We used to open at 7. We now open at 9. We used to be open until 11 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights because we get a lot of customers after going out to dinner. They want a place to go to
Yep.
just to have some dessert and some coffee. And we stopped doing that. We closed at 7 every night now. And
Really? Wow, that's a big, I thought you were going to say 9 o'clock, but
No,
7.
7.
And I'll tell you what, it's great. We can say at 7 o'clock we're done. We don't have to worry about who's not going to come in, or if it's snowing out, or if it's raining out, and if it's just an off weekend, and then we're paying these people, which is a higher rate.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, well,
you can't just
crazy.
pay them to stick around. You got to pay them to do the work, and yeah, it's worked.
How did you manage that piece, the staff piece? Did you lose some people? How'd you do when the shit first came down?
Well, just like everybody panicked.
Yeah.
I mean, right? So what do? I mean, everybody, they messed up with COVID.
Oh,
and I'll tell
for
you how
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
the main dispute that we have with COVID is how can you put a red, an orange, a yellow zone, and 2 miles down the road be a yellow
It
zone?
might not even be too. It could be your neighbor.
Joey's.
But you're in a
on
red
the
zone.
circle. Joey
Yeah.
was orange, and around the circle, Bull and Bear wasn't.
Which
How is that fair?
I had
to-
staff that worked in the city, in the zones, that drove out here, and we were outside the zones. I'm like, this isn't protecting anybody.
no.
Like,
No.
it doesn't make sense.
No, and it hurt. It hurt.
It hurt hard.
Businesses. I mean, we're mainly a takeout business as it is, so we managed and we changed and we adapted to what we saw in front of us. Each week we adapted.
But, I was also at Dominic's with my sister.
Yeah.
And it killed us.
Yeah.
It killed us. That's a huge establishment, that with a lot of seating and just to try to survive.
Those big
with
footprint
60
places are
employees,
tough.
Yep.
It's impossible. It's impossible. And,
You made a good point. I think the people that were successful through this, those people that knew how to do to go, pizza shops like Twin Trees or
Yeah.
Sal's, they already had a component that was to go. They knew how to do that and they did well. I talk to John at Tissone's all the time, and I'm really happy to see that Mary's retired and moved on. It's very
Yes.
tough on
Yes.
John. He's stressed out a bit, but in fact, I think today Angela and his son are going to Florida, but he has to stay here.
yeah.
So, but before COVID, he was less than 5% of his business was to go. They didn't do any to go.
Right.
Well, they had to pivot. And during COVID, they were 50% to go. And even today, he's probably 20%
Yep.
to go.
Yeah.
Because they figured it out. They did it well. You had to upgrade. You couldn't just throw shit in a fiber container. You had to upgrade your containers. You had to figure out what items were going to be on to go that were good to go. They had a good presentation. And they figured it out. A lot of places figured it out.
Yeah.
That's
So-
one thing I have to say about hospitality industry. The people are very resilient.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely resilient and flexible with ideas. You have to be creative. You have to learn how to think on your toes and just react when things happen.
Pivot is the word they kept using, but I do like that they find a way. They just grind it out. It's like David Hoyne says,
have
you
to.
know.
have to.
What's his DTFO?
Drive the fuck
Drive the
on.
fuck on. He's got shirts that say DTFO. And during
really?
COVID, he would just answer all his texts with DTFO. Everybody.
Yeah.
Drive the fuck on. Just figure out a
Just
way
keep
to
going. Yeah.
keep it going.
Right. And
Yeah.
people, for the most part, were patient. Like customers were patient. You didn't have the staff. If you had, before you had 4 people working in the front counter, maybe during COVID, we had 1 to 2, and they were
understanding, I
They were
think.
patient,
Yeah. And it was really nice to see that side of people.
Yeah.
It was really
I wish we still had that.
Yeah.
That whole
I was just
Syracuse
gonna
Heat
say,
thing.
have you where do you feel customers are right now?
For the most part.
I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, for the
You
most
know,
part.
a lot of people are still very, very understanding because they see the people working really, really hard behind the
Yeah.
counter or in the behind the bar, on the floor, and doing the best that they can. And I think people are still understanding
Yeah.
and seeing that the people that are out there doing this job are trying their
Working
best.
hard.
They are.
Yeah.
We do our breakfast club thing. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
We started, so we just had our.
Oh yeah, how'd it go on Saturday?
$1,380 we had for
Nice.
tip. So
That's
we
great.
really,
Yeah, you've
people
done
cry.
that.
We had one of the waitresses, she started bawling at
Right.
Mary Ann's in Phoenix. She started bawling her brains out. She was like hugging everybody. But at the
great.
same time, when we've done like 13 or 14 of these, we've given almost 30 grand out
Right.
in tips.
That's
Is
amazing.
it's inspirational because you know, like I've said it a bunch of podcasts, but in today's world, if I see that your kid is in a softball and they're doing some kind of thing, I just click a button and Venmo you $30, right?
Right.
I do that for everybody.
Yep.
And that's cool and you feel good, whatever. But you're just clicking a button. This way, I'm bringing $100. Everybody's got $100.
Yeah.
And you give that $100, and when it's all done, and we bring all the girls out, all the staff comes out, and they think they did something wrong. Then we tell them who we are and what we did, and then they're just so emotional just to see it. And I turn around and look at my friends that do it, and they're crying because they saw that
Yeah.
they're giving how emotional
great.
people are. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a great.
But where did we lose that with this whole where Syracuse eats and this whole toxic people now? They used to feel like, hey, I'm going to Biscotti's or I'm going to the brasserie, and I feel like I'm, everything wasn't perfect, so maybe I should say something.
And they
Now it's like I'm obligated to tell everybody exactly what I feel. Like I have to tell everybody on Facebook, not call the manager and say, hey, my water wasn't cold. They have to get on Facebook and blast everybody.
if we have a customer that has a complaint, we tell them all the time, thank you for calling us and letting
Yes.
us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we're not
Because
perfect. We know
Yeah.
that.
No,
No one's
no,
perfect.
no.
things
Yeah.
things
Things gonna happen.
happen. And we really, really appreciate that phone call saying, listen, something wasn't right. But what maybe people don't understand is by bringing it to our attention, maybe something went wrong in that batch of cakes that we're not aware
Right,
of.
yeah.
Right.
Let us know. This way we can fix the rest of the cakes that
Yeah.
But to
something might
wait
be.
until you're gone, the best one I ever saw was Beeville Diner. Jim and Laura, great people. Beeville Diner's a great place. Their son-in-law Zach was running at the time. They ended up taking their Facebook page down for a while because somebody posted on Where Syracuse Eats, lived in Beeville 14 years. My favorite place is Beeville Diner. Love it. Always go there. Just went, got cheese sticks, no marinara sauce. Fuck Beeville Diner. I'm never going back.
Right?
I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Number one, 14 years, and number
Right.
two, why are you getting your cheese sticks at Beeville Diner? There's like plenty of places to get your cheese sticks fixed.
Yeah.
They didn't have pasta sauce, okay?
Right. It's
Like, fuck them. I'm never going back now. Come on, man.
everybody. I'll go back. Everybody's Yolanda Wright.
Yes.
That's it.
yeah,
Everybody is Yolanda
Today,
right now.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's that is the mentality, and then they get super what are they called now? So people that do everything. I saw McDonald's the other day.
Yeah. They got somebody got
But
McDonald's.
They
yeah.
get super critic or super something.
Oh, because they
Oh,
post
they
so
get it
much.
like a badge.
They do, and
Oh
they
my
get
On
God.
social media?
on social media. If you go underneath people's reviews, you'll see it's like a super critic or super. I can't remember the word, but it's like
Oh
they'll do
my
everything. I
God.
went to Delta Sun and got gas. The lines were
Yeah.
crazy, or it's
Yeah.
like they just everything they do. It's like
And some of that stuff is so petty. I saw one that was like somebody had a special, it was like a $6 lunch special, and somebody goes, "I went to get my $6 lunch special. They raised it to $7. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
you don't have $1? Come on, man. If you don't have the dollar, don't go eat. Yeah.
we're very thankful. We get
Yeah.
pretty good. We're like 4.7 rating on Facebook and on Google. It's a great rating, but it's one last week. 5 stars. Great food, great everything. A little pricey.
Ugh.
a little pricey. Go anywhere. Where are you
Yeah.
gonna go for $2? You know,
Yeah.
you can't even. It's like,
My only complaint about Biscotti's, I get the same complaint all the time. My wife follows you on Facebook, and when you post some of those pictures, she's posted a picture one time, I remember a while ago, and Kim was like, when the next time you're in the city, you have to stop and get me that. So
Yeah.
I have to stop and get that, and then you walk in, I gain 1,000 calories just looking at everything. But there was some crazy cool thing you had, and she's like, you have to go get that for me. So it's
the
my
hearts. I
only-
remember you like
The hearts, yeah, the hearts,
I
that was she
remember-
wanted,
I
yes.
remember the cookies last year
Yeah.
for the hearts. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God, yeah.
yeah.
it's-
Those heart cookies, I don't know.
The best
They're-
thing I ever, so your sister, Cindy, who's the sweetest lady in the world.
She
My
is.
mom met her. My mom always wanted to go to Dominic's when she was alive because she always went to Dominic's.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her a couple times and Cindy had met her. And then my mom had to go to rehab up at Cunningham. And then I would go and have lunch with her and sit with her when she was recovering. And I'm sitting there one time and this woman goes, "You're not even going to say hi to me, bud?" And I'm like, "What?" And it was
Oh, I
Cindy. She was
remember.
in the room next to my mom. And she would take care of my mom and talk to her. And then she always asked about my mom. She sent my mom flowers
Aw,
when she got. It was just like so nice. So I would always go back. And I remember being. Have you ever been to Dominic's?
Like a long time ago.
So they have a great big like case up front with all the desserts. And Cindy's up there being Cindy. And this older woman comes up. She's probably in her 80s. And she's like, could you tell me what that is right there? And Cindy goes, "That right there?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "That's delicious." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's too funny." So it's a shame not to see them there anymore. When
Yeah.
you drive by, it's kind of,
It
know?
is. And, an emotional roller coaster for
Yeah.
my sisters and I, But I think everything has its time.
yes, yeah. How long were you there?
40 years.
Wow.
a
Wow.
long time.
40 years.
a long time.
Yeah.
How long you been here?
7.5 years.
So 33 years to go.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
be
right.
63.
Yeah, right.
63. So.
Yes.
So what's the number one thing? What's your number one item you sell? Is it birthday and holiday cakes that people come and get for an event? Is it the catering you do, or is it the onesie twosies, or
Oh,
what's your?
it's such a big array of big variety, but I cakes.
Yeah.
Well, cakes on a yearly average, but then of course, Thanksgiving, it's all pies. Easter, it's all pastries. Christmas is all cookies.
Oh, wow.
Cookies,
Yeah.
cookies, thousands of pounds of cookies that we just tray up.
So how many bakers do you have? Like, what's your team look like?
One,
You?
Yeah.
he's the baker.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
And-
Really? I thought you were the baker and he was the numbers guy.
No, so he's the numbers guy and he does all the baking. I do all the artsy, creative, come up with the
Cool.
new specials.
We had some guys work for us for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
we had 2 bakers for 9 years, and one had some liver issues that had to stop working, and then the other guy unfortunately passed away during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Worked for us
sad.
for 9 years, and
Just very, very sad.
yeah, it really was. So, and it's hard to find. I mean, we have some help.
Yeah.
Our dishwashers will come over and they're great.
not the same
they're great
thing, though,
helpers,
right?
but
Yeah.
No,
you have to watch
they'll-
over them, make
yeah,
sure
Do
that
like scraping out the dough and stuff from
they're
the
doing
bowls.
that stuff.
and-
But it's a job that's hard to find. Somebody that knows what they're doing or is willing to learn what the ways we
Do
do
you have
it.
like BOCES or anything local that
We-
teaches? Yeah.
We have. I mean, we've got.
we get a
people-
lot of students, yeah.
the Lafayette Picture,
At
right?
Big Picture, Lafayette Big Picture School. Love them, been doing students with them for years. Their program is amazing, where they
Yeah.
just bring, the student will say, I think I might want to learn the restaurant. So they contact local restaurants and say, would you like to take on a student? And we've taken in so many
The state
students.
pay or the city or the school
They're
pay?
not, they're not paid.
They're not
They're
paid.
So it's,
Yep,
it's
they
an
just come in
intern.
during school.
Yeah.
Tuesdays
Oh,
and
cool.
Thursdays they come in, and we've had some great kids.
Kids that maybe
And we-
turned into employees after?
And we've seen them, well, not from there, but I mean, we've done a lot of presentations in schools, which yes, we have
Yep.
you know, after they saw the presentation, really wanted to get into baking or really wanted to, you know, get into the cafe scene. And, you know, we've
Nice.
hired out of
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah, we do a lot through Nottingham. We just started doing some stuff with Liverpool.
We made a million years ago, before I was married, I used to work at Pizza Hut. I was a Pizza Hut manager, and back before Michelle was even born. And we had a hard time staffing, but a lot of staff at Pizza Hut are high school kids, or kids right out of high school.
Yeah.
So my boss and I, Joe Squadrito, great guy, we decided we're going to go to schools. So we would go to schools, take pizza, have a pizza day at the school. Pizza Hut would sponsor it, and we'd talk to kids about employment,
Yep.
if you need a job, whatever. We go to a lot of city schools. We got a lot of kids from that, a lot of really good kids to come in that busted their ass.
Yeah.
You know, and free
Yeah.
pizza at least gets them to listen to you. You know,
Right.
nobody's, you know, denying themselves a piece of pizza, for Christ's sakes, yeah, or
Yeah, we
you
get
know,
a lot
a heart cookie. You know,
We get a lot of kids that have grown up. They're grown up now that will come back to us and say, "Thank you so much." You know,
Oh, that's
working for you
gratifying.
when
Yeah,
I was younger
really
and
is.
taught me
Nice.
so
That's
much.
cool.
You know?
It is like that is just so fulfilling to me
That's
when
cool.
they
Yeah.
come back and say,
Yeah.
you know, I know I probably left in the wrong way or
Right.
treated
Yeah.
you the wrong way or did the wrong things, but
That's
working
pretty
for you
cool.
guys taught me a lot. You know,
That's
because
nice.
we're you know we're very firm but fair with our employees
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, I bet you get people after 25 years. You probably get people that you did their birthday cake, their sweet 16 cake, and their
Oh, yeah.
wedding cake, and their divorce cake, and their first kid's cake, and you've had families that come in and probably gotten cakes for, or you know, stuff
Oh,
for
yeah.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we actually have a few letters in the wedding room stating that, you know, you did their baptism cake, you did their confirmation cake, you did their sweet 16, then you got into the bridal shower, and yeah, we've done it
Yeah.
all, like right from the beginning to the.
What's the weirdest? I asked you this once before. I don't know if it's the same story, but I remember sitting in the wedding room with her, talking to you once, and I said, "What's the weirdest like cake somebody has wanted?" Like, cause you'll do design cakes. If I come in
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, I want a
Yeah.
cake of a horse because I really like horses," or "I want a cake of my favorite movie," or whatever. What's the weirdest?
To me, I still think it's that painting one that they wanted you to do on a wedding cake. It was like a Van Gogh, not a Van Gogh. It was like I can't think of it, but there was one cake
That was a fun cake to do. It's Pollock.
Oh, wow,
Pollock?
Pollock cake. Yeah, so it's
So-
a lot of color and
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun because I was just like taking the color and
And-
just throwing it on the cake and
Oh, that's
it
fun.
It was-
matched the painting.
That was
Yeah.
that was up.
There's a wedding cake?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
They had actually the painting right behind it. That was up in eBay. I remember delivering that one.
Yeah,
You
that was a
told me
fun cake.
once there was one, maybe it was just because it was happening at the time, they were getting married on Halloween, and it was some fucked up goth cake thing.
Yeah, we get those every once in a while.
And it was,
yeah.
they were like goth, and they were getting married on Halloween.
Yep.
And it was some weird ass like design of a cake. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Black and white cake.
They're fun though.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun to do. I love when people have like their own ideas of what they want to do with a cake.
And people probably more now than ever have their own idea of how they want it.
Oh,
Yeah, do they come in with like Pinterest?
We ask
let's
them
look
to.
at- Oh,
We
yeah,
ask
that
them
does
to.
make it easier.
You know,
I
mean,
guess.
when we first started off, we had the old 4x6 photos, and
Yeah.
you went through it and you picked one of those. But now, I mean,
That's why it's
you know,
But
Isn't
it's
it?
so hard if someone is like, well, I think I want to do like a river cascading and a set of stairs. And so it's like, okay, I know what you're envisioning in your mind, but I'm not envisioning the same
same
thing.
thing.
So I'm trying to create this
Yeah.
cake or piece of art, trying to pull from your ideas. So when they come in with a picture, it's like so much easier.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
You do Kim's
Less
birthday.
room for error.
I get
Right.
the, like,
Right.
the
Right.
ugliest picture of Kim when she was like 12 with glasses and weird hair, and I send it to them. They put it on a cake. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God. You're such an asshole.
on the other end of that is, you know, the internet is a cruel thing because they see a cake and they want a cake, and then they come to us to get that cake, and then we give them the price on the cake, and they go, well, Jesus, it's just a friggin' cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you charging me this much money?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a cake.
Hours
Yeah.
of artwork.
It's
Yeah.
art, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of material, sometimes fondant work or what have you. And
Does that happen too? With everybody, cost of goods have gone up. Cost of goods for you guys has got to be insane.
oh, I
as
mean,
well.
come on, let's
Oh,
talk about
eggs.
eggs and
Eggs,
eggs.
yeah.
Let's just talk about eggs.
People
Yeah,
are
that's-
what proposing with a with eggs now, right? Opening up a carton of eggs. You see it on Facebook.
Oh,
Those-
my God, I haven't
Instead
seen
of
that.
a ring?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my
Oh,
God.
yeah,
It's
Yep.
a joke
Funny
where
as
they're
hell.
presenting a dozen eggs, you know?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Pre-pandemic, they were about $55 for 30 dozen. Okay,
Yep.
so $55, anywhere between 40 and 70, we'll say,
Yeah.
but $55 is general. I don't know, like 2 months ago, $155 a case.
Jesus Christ.
2 months ago, $155 a
Wow.
case. Now they've come down. I think we're paying around $80 right now
Yeah.
for it, but
But here's the hard part with that. When you have those those prices
You can't change your.
spiking, we can't
Yeah.
change our prices, you know, to
Yeah.
change a menu
Yeah.
and say, well, this week the steaks are going to be
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
$15. Well, sorry, next week it's going to be 80 because the
Yeah.
cost of beef has tripled.
Yeah.
And so restaurant owners
They
have to
ate
suck
it.
up that
Yeah.
Had
price.
to.
They have,
Yeah.
You have to
have to.
because
You know how much I just was John Tassone. John's the nicest guy in the world. He was like anxiety ridden because he had to raise his price. I'm like, dude, go around to other
Yeah.
restaurants and see what they're charging. So he went around
Absolutely.
just on chicken parm. So his chicken parm, I think like Joey's is like $28.99. Santana's was like $25.99. He's fucking $17.99.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should raise it $1. I'm like, dude,
No.
you
No.
can't get. There's no Red Cross in the building, man. He's so
Yeah,
anxiety ridden
and-
about making sure he doesn't take advantage of the customer.
But
you
we
know?
feel the same. I
Yes,
mean, I
yes,
get
yes.
that, right? How much before it becomes, so it's a luxury item, right? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe chicken parm's a little bit different, but.
But your stuff is a
we're-
luxury
We're
item,
luxury,
yes,
right?
yes.
So when does it become, I don't really need a cannoli. I might want a cannoli, but I don't really
Yeah.
need a cannoli. I'd rather put $5 more of gas in my car or $5 more at the grocery store for a
Right.
case of eggs or,
not
right?
that cannolis are
One
$5.
more green beer
Let's-
draft.
Right, but
know?
what I'm saying is, when does that become? So, for the first time in 25 years, when we do a price increase, we do it in January.
Yep.
We never do it before Christmas or
Oh, right,
Easter
yeah,
or
yeah.
anything like that. We do it in January. Well, we did a price increase middle of the year last year,
We had to.
had to.
Yeah.
and it took a lot of us, a lot for us to do that.
I think that's a piece people don't realize too is that these restaurant owners, they'd be better off in another business if they were about it for the money.
Yeah.
They really care
Sure.
about the customer and making sure that
Yeah.
they don't overcharge them or that they get a good meal, whatever. These people care, man,
Yeah.
and
Well,
to get blasted.
you know, it's kind of like a joke when people say, "Oh, we cook with love, we cook from the heart." But in all honesty, we do.
Yeah.
We don't do this for the money. You know, we're not millionaires. We do this because we love food. We love presenting what we can do for you. We love seeing smiles on customers.
my
the
gosh.
the
Yeah.
energy in a restaurant, you know, in the back of a bakery, just getting through
Yeah.
a busy service is
It's gratifying.
Oh,
It
sure it
is.
is.
It is.
How many restaurants do? You
We do
provide
a-
the big.
we do-
Who
we do
were
a
some of the
lot. I
places
mean,
that you?
Well, we have a second spot up at SU,
Oh, where?
up at Shine
Oh,
Shine
Wait
Dining.
and Shine? Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh wow!
Yeah.
Open during COVID.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We've been doing business with SU for 24 years, and they are an amazing company to
Oh
work
wow!
with.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. I didn't know that.
We do 5 different locations now. We do the Shine Student Center.
Yeah.
We do campus catering. We do Dome. We used to do the
wow.
faculty and Drumlins as part of
Oh,
it now.
wow.
So we do all 5 of those outfits. And,
Wow.
you
Well,
know,
plus, we do a lot of smaller restaurants
Like,
and
what are some name drops of restaurants that you do the?
the Grotto.
Oh, okay, Nancy.
Yeah.
Brick and Brew. Yeah.
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 Nancy's a good
yeah,
friend of
yeah,
ours.
yes.
Kathy's a good friend of
Yes,
ours.
Kathy's great. The
Yeah,
Brick
oh,
and Brew people are great.
Yeah, love them.
Western Ranch.
Western Ranch, yeah.
My wife
Do a
freaks
lot.
out. I mean, we go by there all the time. She's like, we've been in there because friends
Yeah.
of ours play music out there. Frank and Eshy, shout out to Frank. They, we go in and look, and the place is kind of unimposing, but it's fucking packed.
It's
His food is amazing.
That's what I
Food is
hear.
really
Yeah, I've heard
good.
the food is
It's
good. I've
packed
never
in
been,
there. We
but
drive
I've
by.
heard
There's
it's good.
60 cars there on a Thursday night.
I
He
play
played-
I play darts,
Yeah.
and that's our home. That's our home
Steel or plastic?
steel.
Steel.
And
Okay. You're one of
we-
those. I
we-
play plastic.
We
tips.
go on
Okay.
Tuesdays, and it's packed. They got great wings. We went there for a dart tournament, and she got an open face sandwich. Steak sandwich.
Sliced prime rib sandwich.
Wow.
Really?
Outstanding. Probably one of the best steak
I just
sandwiches
don't
I've
think
had.
to go there. It's
Yeah,
just
well,
not
yeah.
it's unimposing, so.
And the people next to us had like the fried seafood platters. It looked fantastic. I don't try
He's
not
been
to eat
there
a
a
lot of
long
fried
time.
foods, but
Yeah.
Wally over there is a
Yeah.
great guy. Great
So
guy.
is that your restaurant of choice that you guys would go to? Or is your,
No. I mean, just because we played darts, we
where's your favorite spot?
like the grotto.
The
we,
grotto.
yeah, what we like to do is when we drop off cakes somewhere, you know, that
Oh, that's cool. Have
we
dinner.
stay,
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
dinner,
You know,
some
patronize
drinks.
who patronize us, right?
Yeah.
You know, we just
Yeah,
found out
nice.
that Brian owns Press Room Pub, and it's like we'll
Oh,
start
that's
going
cool.
there
Cool.
now.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy,
yeah.
yeah.
So we do love to support local businesses and friends of ours, or you know, people that we do bring cakes to, that you know, just to help support them. Brick and Brew, we go in there a lot and have
Yeah,
some
it's a great
drinks and
place.
some
Oh my
pizza. The
gosh, yeah.
pizza's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're good people too. I was telling you about that thing we did where we made those kits
Yep.
for homeless people. So some places took it another step, like Dan at Heritage Hill, who's a great, awesome guy. He made his Christmas party, had all the people come in, and the Christmas party event wasn't like a band or singing. They put kits together. He provided all the materials, put the kits. That was part of their Christmas giving back kind of thing, and their staff got really engaged in it. And then what Kathy and Mark just did, what I thought was cool, is they got in connection. They met John here, Tamino here. They got in connected with John and asking him, like, what can we give back? How can we help even more? And he said, one of the things they need is bottled water. So they put a promotion on Facebook. They paid for it. They said, bring a case of water to Brick and Brew and get a free beer.
Nice.
And the water was donated to In My Father's Kitchen.
That's awesome.
That's cool as
That's
shit, man.
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I
cool.
didn't
That
know
just tells you the character of people.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Gets people in the building too.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And I think people
And-
want, especially today, that her generation, they want to go somewhere where, I think I said it in a different podcast, that Kevin Williams and Rockney Robertson own Willow Rock. I listened to a podcast that they did with somebody else, and they mentioned a term that I had never heard before, and it's pretty big especially during COVID, that coming out of COVID, I think people are a more conscientious consumer. How much money they spend is important, because
Sure it is.
money is maybe a little tighter now. So how they spend their money, they're conscious of. And where they spend their money, they're super conscious of. So they're conscientious about, I'm going to Brasserie. What are the other things Brasserie does besides serve me a great food? I see that she's doing benefits with this, or she's donating here. That's where I want to spend my money. So people are way more conscientious with their money. So, which is kind of good, right?
Should be.
Should be.
I think so.
So we're closing down. You got your,
Yeah.
I asked my question?
What?
So,
Oh, I thought you were
did you
talking
ever
to
have a
Ryan. I'm like, what are you
nickname?
doing?
Did you ever have a nickname growing up, and what was the nickname, and did you like it or not like it?
A personal nickname?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like when you were a kid, did they nickname you something? Or?
Why are you asking me this?
We ask everybody that.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Everybody.
ask
Okay,
everybody.
okay.
Yes.
Yes, I did have a nickname.
What was the nickname?
Oh, I've got to say it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let me tell you how I got
Yes,
the
that's
nickname
the best
first.
part.
So my cousin Jennifer, who's working with my cousin John out at
Oh, yeah,
Titone's
I've met
Wine Garden.
Jennifer, yes,
So
yes.
her mother, my Aunt Donna, and her ex-husband, my dad's brother, they owned Bill's Bakery.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah. Yes, I remember those.
That was my Uncle Bill, I'm sorry. He owned Tissone's Modern Bakery.
Over by Hafner's.
Yes.
Right, yes.
Yes. So when we were growing up, we'd be over at my Aunt Donna and Uncle Bill's house all the time, and she would always do little things, because there was a bunch of girls. She had 5 girls. We had 4 girls, and she just loved it. So we would all wear our little dresses over to my
How
Aunt
old are you
Donna's.
then?
I don't know, 6 maybe. And she would come up with nicknames for all of us. And she would always play dress up with us. And, you know, just
9 girls.
tickle
oh my
us.
Gosh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
right.
Yeah. So we just had so much fun with her. So she came up with nicknames for everybody, and mine was Dibbles.
Dibbles. Why?
Dibbles. I don't know.
Dibbles.
I don't know. She
Like
just
Dibbles
pulled-
in?
Like
or-
Dibbles in.
Like Dibbles in,
Right?
yes.
Spelled the
Dibbles
same
in,
way,
yeah.
Yeah, Dibbles, okay.
Cute.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Okay.
Did you, how long did it stick?
Oh, it still sticks.
Yeah?
Jennifer
Yeah.
is still telling people, and
Call you Dibbles?
I need to call her and thank her for that.
Dibbles. Now,
Yeah.
now everybody knows.
Yeah, Carl at pitch. We play pitch at Sharky's.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He came up to me, and he's the head of the pitch league. So
Dibbles.
I heard your nickname is Dibbles. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of those nicknames that you may not want to tell them how, you're like,
Dibbles.
So, you know, because you could take it any way. That
Yeah,
Dibble's how it
yeah.
got there. What
Yeah.
about you, Jeff?
Nope.
No nicknames?
no.
Or you're just not telling us?
Cindy's.
No, I really don't.
No,
I
never
mean,
had a.
I'm going to tell
No, it's just-
Cindy's nickname.
Oh,
I think
that's
my Aunt
excellent.
Donna, I think it was like Cine Lover.
Cine lover.
Cine Lover.
Nice.
My sister Lisa was Hot Lips.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that's
cute.
funny.
Yeah.
You and
I
Cindy are
like
the
that.
only two sisters I've met.
Yeah. Lisa's a teacher at Nottingham, and
Nice.
my other sister lives in Jersey. And everyone asks what she does, and we're like, we have no idea. She
Yeah.
works on the computer.
Yeah. Yep.
David Hoyne was here and we asked him and he's like, how he get nicknames, and he was like, I was on a road trip one time in a van and he was reading a magazine, and the magazine People or Us or whatever it was, and on the front of it it said like J-Lo this and J-Lo that. So I guess he looked around at everybody and said, hey, I want to be known as D-Ho. Because David Hoyne. I'm like,
that's
oh my
so
God, no.
funny.
Every time I see David, I call
Yeah,
him D-Ho
D-Ho.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
Too funny. And then Michelle's always got the last question.
Mine's way better than his.
Okay, yes.
No, so if if people were to take away one thing about you, or if you wanted people to know one thing about you, what would it be?
If somebody might not have known
Yeah.
Biscotti's or known you personally before this, what do you want them to know about you? Besides
go ahead.
Dibbles.
You got this. Go ahead.
No, you got that.
I got a question for them.
Oh, good. I
Oh.
like that.
Yeah, I got a question for them.
What would I like to be known for? That my heart is always in any decision
Oh, wow,
I
that's
make,
cool.
or every move I make, it's always done with love or intention,
Yeah.
with
Ooh, that's
good
cool.
meaning.
Nobody's ever said that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
pretty
good
cool.
one.
I like that. That your decisions come from the heart. Then that's pretty cool.
We're truly into what we do. We really are, and we really try to put out the best product, you know, every time.
It's where I go. I mean, I didn't go
Right.
there Sunday. I play basketball at Horn downtown. Jeff plays basketball as well.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
going to get, Michelle thinks she plays basketball. She thinks she's better than me. But anyway, I get done
Well,
basketball.
let's do a basketball
that's
match.
one of, I'm all
Do
about
a
that.
one-on-one.
I think that
know.
should be done. But
I think that could be a little fundraiser there.
Yeah.
I lost, me and my buddy Eric, we lost every game we played, 6 games. We're the only 2 guys that lost every game. So when I get done with basketball, if I win a lot of games, I say, hey, guys, treating myself to Glazed on the way home.
Right.
So they're like, Bud, you can't go to Glazed now on the way home because you didn't win a fucking game. So fuck them, I stopped at Glazed anyway. I went in, I was just going to get 2 donuts.
Got a
And
dozen.
the guy goes, well, how many do you need? I go, I probably ought to get 6.
Yeah.
So I got 6 donuts. I got home and I left the box on the table. And Kim is like, did you save me the 1 donut? Yes. I ate 5 fucking Glazed
Oh my
on the way home.
Oh my
5
gosh,
donuts. That's
those
like,
donuts are.
oh my God, they're so
a
good.
meal.
Yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
They're
That's
so
crazy.
They do a great job over
good.
there.
And Paul is a great guy. Anytime we've reached out, try to ask him to help somebody or do something, he's just right there.
Yeah.
So what's your question?
Your nicknames. You guys have.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really have one. I
No?
think in
You
high
had
school.
one. What was your?
Well, they call me Shelly in high school, some
Okay.
friends, or like Mish, but not just from Michelle. Nothing
Right?
like creative, I guess.
Mine's Bud.
Bud.
Do you know my real name or?
I thought that was
I
your
thought
I
that
know,
was
me
your
too.
real name.
No, years ago, we were playing in a basketball league at Frank's, and my buddy Jim Berkowitz and I have been friends forever. And
Jim
and-
Berquist from Central Square.
Yeah, do you know Jim or?
Yeah, my sister knows him better than I do, but he graduated with my sister.
Oh my gosh, the boys are doing really well. Central Square boys are their big game on Friday. They play New Hartford basketball. The boys are
Nice.
great. Him and Sandy are great people.
Yeah,
So Jim
yeah.
played basketball with me forever, and we're down at Frank's one time, and different bartender was working. After basketball, we all went down to the bar, and I'm getting ready to, we get beers. I give her credit card, and she gets done. She goes, I go, want to cash out? She goes, what's the name? I said, it's the Silver MasterCard. She goes, what's the name on it? It's the Silver MasterCard. She comes back, she goes, Henry, Laura? And I go, yeah, that's me. My real name is Henry. And my buddy Jim is like, your real name is Henry? What the fuck? So that's what he calls me from now on. He calls me Henry.
Oh, Henry?
My
Does he call
grandfather's
you,
name
oh,
was
Oh,
Henry?
Henry. I get the Henry. But my dad's name is Henry, so
I
I'm a
never knew
junior.
that.
So now everybody thinks I'm a Bud. I don't think I
Always.
look
But you
like
know
a
who
Henry.
else? I don't know if you know Bud Chanley. He used to work for Key Bank, and he was a cop, and good friends with my dad. And I
What's his
practically-
real name?
Henry.
Henry? Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that
I
either.
got it because my grandmother on my mother's side didn't like my dad. When we were kids, she didn't want me to be named Henry. So when I came home from the hospital, she's like,
90% sure it's
"That's
Henry."
my
I should
Henry."
apologize just in case
Good.
it's not.
And she goes, she would say, "He's not Henry, he's my little buddy." So she called me my little buddy, so everybody started calling me Buddy. And then high school, I started putting my name on stuff as Buddy, and it's always been Bud.
Wow,
So
that's great.
Henry, but no Henrys. Shelley.
Shelley, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Thank
It
you
was
so
great
much.
to
This was
talk to
really
you.
good. This
Yeah,
was
we
really fun.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
This was nice.
Appreciate it.